Coming up in the news, Western Air winning a significant legal battle. Also, hear what the principal of the 8 Mile Rock School has to say on a viral video involving students and a bus driver. And later, can fake eyelashes cause damage to your eyes? An ophthalmologist takes a look. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Farquharson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news this evening, a favorable settlement for a locally based airline company as the Grand Bahama Airport Company's demand for payment to Western Air was denied by the Supreme Court. Tonight, an executive of the company says it is their hope that this judgment will stop the bad faith tactics and practices of the Grand Bahama International Airport Company. Western Air, the country's largest privately owned airline company, celebrating a major victory as Senior Justice Estelle Gray Evans ruled that the Grand Bahama International Airport operator failed to prove its claim that Western Air owed this debt for services rendered after the airline moved into its own purpose-built terminal on September 5, 2015. According to reports, the Grand Bahama International Airport charged that the local air carrier owed close to $400,000 in outstanding airport fees. However, the Supreme Court ruled against the airport company. ZNS News reached out to the Vice President of Operations and General Counsel, Shirexia Roll, who released this statement. It says Western Air paid for services provided by GBAC. Each time an aircraft lands, landing fees are paid to GBAC and the lease is also paid consistently. When the investment was made to open an independent passenger terminal for our passengers, we also invested in hiring our own security screening personnel, ground handling, and additional personnel for the upkeep of our facility. Our position has not wavered since we moved into our terminal in 2015, which is if we no longer use GBAC's domestic facility and they no longer screen or house our passengers, then facility and security fees should not be charged. This is what was agreed from 2009 in our lease and operating agreement. This was also understood when we first made this significant investment at GBIA. The statement continues that we would like to press forward and we hope this judgment will stop the bad faith tactics and practices. We have additional priorities such as the continued redevelopment of our terminal facility after Hurricane Dorian. We continue to operate and service the traveling community independently without any aid or communication from GBAC as the airport operator since the storm. Runway and taxiways were repaired except for the taxiway leading to Western Air's facility. We have requested their taxiway be repaired and it has yet to be done. These type of actions are unnecessary and unacceptable for an airport operator and landlord. We hope to see improvement going forward. Now, in response to this illegal woe, a consultant with the airport company told ZNS News that consistent with the Grand Bahama Airport Company policy and practice, legal matters are not discussed in the media. Switching gears, the Grand Bahama Airport Company also facing criticisms from a leader in the tourism sector. Manager of the Pelican Bay Resort says the delay in repairs at the airport is damaging the industry. He believes a serious effort must be made to address this issue once and for all. Italia Hall reports.
The general manager of Pelican Bay Resort says the answer is a new airport. In December of last year, a video that included employees as well as the general manager of the Pelican Bay Resort went viral on social media. In the video, the group of tourism workers could be heard asking for a new airport on Grand Bahama. That video received some 104,000 views. Since then, some progress has been made. A temporary facility is now in operation. But General Manager Magnus Alnebeck says the temporary facility is inadequate for the nation's second city.
We cannot get international schedule or private planes cleared after 6 o'clock. as I understand it, at this present moment at 6 o'clock, the airport closes for international flights, whether they are scheduled or chartered. And I think there is a real need for us to understand that an airport is an essential service in any place, and even more so on an island. And I don't want to get into whether it's important for tourism or not, because I really think it's important for the island.
He is adamant that Freeport's business model hinges on a proper functioning airport.
At this present moment, I don't know, for example, what happens if somebody needs to be medically evacuated outside of the Bahamas in the evening. Can that flight even be cleared to come in? I don't know. And I think we should all seek to get those answers, those questions answered.
The outspoken hotelier says he believes that the Grand Bahama Port Authority and Hutchison Port Holdings are sending a strange message by not rebuilding the airport.
Freeport is a company town. However we look at it, it's a company town. And when the two entities that owns the majority of Freeport decides to, as I understand it, take the insurance money and not reinvest it, I think it sends a pretty strong and strange message to other investors present and even investors that wants to come here.
He says he also did some research and the results were disturbing. He says the Grand Bahama International Airport does not have an official website or an updated social media page. For him, this is unacceptable.
I think that speaks to what interest they have in running a professional airport. And in most places in the world, an airport is government-owned, and or at least by a regional government. Then you need to find, in my mind, an operator who knows what they are doing. And I think most of us in the Bahamas are in agreement that what has happened in Nassau with Pendling International Airport, it works well, and it's a government-owned airport operated by NAD. And I would think that that is the solution that would make sense.
It's Talia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Well, according to a consultant from GBAC, Hutchison remains in talks with the government of the Bahamas with regards to the future of the Grand Bahama International Airport. Deplorable. That's what residents have to say about the condition of a major thoroughfare in the Hudson Estates community. It is also the location for a church and school, and tonight school leaders are speaking out and calling for a resolution. Megan Shepard reports.
The community of Hudson Estates has long been plagued with major potholes that makes the everyday commute of residents a nightmare. These conditions are also affecting parents and staff of Grace Bible Academy, as several potholes fill the road that lead to the school. Now, Vice President of the Parent Teacher Association, Quintira Turnquest, says that this issue has been going on for far too long.
This was a problem even before Hurricane Dorian. The roads has been like this for a while now, and we're just asking those persons that are in charge of this area to please come out and do something with the roads, and then you have careless drivers a lot of times that are, instead of staying in their lane to avoid the holes, they're coming towards you. And so it's kind of playing chicken sometimes with these big holes in the area. And some of us have family members that live in this area as well. So we're not only dropping off our children, we're visiting family members in this area as well.
Parent Berkeley Turnquest also raising safety concerns, as motorists are often forced to drive on the opposite side of the road to avoid the potholes.
The message we're sending to these young children, that they seeing this, that is this something that's going to be everyday experience for them. My concern is we need to change the way that our children have to commute to these roads. We're talking about safety. We're talking about a culture thing. I don't want my child to grow up thinking that this is normal, and then this is a school zone. So persons having to go into oncoming traffic to avoid these holes. You're talking about serious. Are we going to wait till something serious happens before something is done?
Turnquest notes that the potholes are also taking a toll on the vehicles of residents. She says they are calling on the powers that be to address the issue immediately.
We were in the process of writing a letter to the Port Authority, and that's when we found out that this is a private subdivision, so it doesn't fall under the Port Authority. We're asking that who's ever in charge of this area, if you can please look into getting the roads fixed.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, an investigation is underway into an apparent altercation involving two male students at the 8 Mile Rock High School. The incident caught on camera. Tonight, the school's principal is addressing this situation.
A video circulating on social media shows what appears to be an altercation aboard a public school bus. It involved a male student of the 8 Mile Rock High School and the driver of the bus. The cell phone footage shows the bus driver telling one male student, "Let's go off," and then hitting another male student immediately after. Our news team spoke to principal of the 8 Mile Rock High School, Chester Cooper, who says he finds the video disturbing and disappointing, adding that the ministry has policies in place that govern the behavior of students as well as bus drivers.
I met yesterday with the bus driver and the owner, as well as those the involved students, to find out exactly what transpired. And like I said, I'm not pleased. These negative incidents, they take away from the good things that are happening here. For example, yesterday we won the junior division of SECME, but now that's being overshadowed by the video showing our students acting inappropriately. And we try to instill the correct values in our students. And like I said, something went wrong.
Cooper assures parents and the community at large that as principal of the institution, he will ensure that the situation is fully addressed. He also confirmed that the bus driver has since been removed.
The bus driver, he was actually filling in for somebody, but after the incident, he was replaced by another bus driver. And as for the students, we're going to deal with those students in-house along with their parents. So, like I said, we're going to do it in the interest of our students, but we got to make sure that when in the community, they act appropriately. Okay, and also follow ministry's policies.
Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
Well, the Financial Crime Unit issuing a bulletin today for Grand Bahama resident Sherrod Seneca Russell. The 35-year-old man, whose address is listed as Heritage Subdivision, is wanted on charges of fraud by false pretenses. Russell is of dark brown complexion, 5 feet 9 inches tall, and slim built. If you know where Sherrod Seneca Russell is tonight, contact the Financial Crime Unit at 356-6025, CDU at 502-9991, or you may contact the nearest police station. And police recognizing officers for displaying commitment to the job. We will tell you more about this story when we come back.